Welcome back. Hope you're doing good and hope your trucks are treating you good. I want to go over my weekly numbers. And first, I want to address a few of you super truckers who like to make comments on my channel and tell me I'm doing it all wrong and that I have to be a road warrior to make the money. All I have to say is watch my videos up to this point. You can see that's not what I'm about. I do put my numbers out there. I have some pretty good weeks, some pretty bad weeks. But that dollar amount is not what my channel's about. It's not what I'm about. If you're happy driving your 3,000 miles a week and only being home once every other month, more power to you. That's not me. Over the past year especially, these old timers and super truckers get on there and boy, they just get on me. And I don't know whether it's because of jealousy or they just can't see what I'm trying to do here. And it just makes them angry for whatever reason. But I apologize for that, you super truckers. So let's start off here. Last week was pretty easy week. And starting out, that's the way I want to do. So I took, what did I do? All of last week I took off. Sorry again, super truckers. I took off a whole week. But so I left out of the house Monday morning and I went to go pick up do a recovery. And this guy had gotten into a wreck and he had a flatbed and he had 2 aluminum coils on it. There were 47,000 pounds and his truck was disabled. So they said, if you go over there and get this for us, name your price. And so it was a little under 150 miles and I told them $1,500 and they immediately accepted, and I wish I would have asked for more, but it didn't matter in the end. So the first one was a truck order not used, and it was truck order not used because when I got there, this trailer, I am surprised that anybody would use a trailer in this bad of condition. It had 8 different types of tires on the trailer. Each tire on that trailer was different brand. 4 of them had no tread on them whatsoever. One of them, you could see the belts inside the tire. The deck had about 1/3 of the aluminum decking missing. It had no inspection on it. And I got over there and I called him. I said, hey, nobody can take this trailer. If you put this back on the load board and somebody takes this, they can come after you for attempted murder because somebody's going to die. So I told them, no, I'm not taking that. Got $300 for that. So I was kind of out in the middle of nowhere there. So I had to drive about 60 miles. And I picked up an empty tanker and it didn't pay great. It was paying $1,200. I can't remember exactly what the distance was on that one. But that was my Monday. Didn't go quite as planned, but that's all right. So I delivered this load on Tuesday. Then I went and picked up a loadout trailer. And the reason I did that was because last week, the power-only loads just weren't paying what I thought they should. They just weren't looking good. Most of them were under $2 a mile. And at this time of the year, they seemed like they should have been paying more. And I got frustrated. So, I said, you know what? With a loadout trailer, especially around my house, I kind of live in the middle of Houston, Dallas, and Shreveport. Each one of them's about, Shreveport's about an hour and a half away. Houston's about a little over 2 hours away. So there are all kinds of loads just going back and forth. And with a van trailer, I could be at home every single day just going back and forth. And I said, you know what? I just want an easy week. Let's do this. The loadout trailer delivers in Texas. And they said, oh, you can use it for 10 days. So I grabbed it. And I went and picked up a load about 45 miles away. Once I got the loadout trailer, it paid $1,400. Delivered that load on Wednesday morning right by the house. Picked up another load and I was at home The other load I picked up paid $700, and I was at home at noon. Delivered this load Thursday morning, and I was going to go straight home from there and just take another week off. But the same people I got this load from said, "Hey, we got a load going straight back. Do you want it?" And they said, "We'll give you $1,000." And I was like, yeah, "Okay, why not?" I got home about 1 o'clock that day. Friday, I went and delivered this load, and I got back to the house about 11. So you can see I didn't work hard at all that week. Again, you super truckers, I apologize that I didn't get in 3,000 miles that week. I actually got to see my family. I'm being sarcastic. So, what does all that mean? I don't like red. Let's work with this this one right here. Let's do it like this. So, total miles for the entire week, 1,650 miles. That includes the time I left the house, all miles driven till the time I got back to the house at the end of the week. 1,650 miles. Where do I write this stuff down at? Okay. So, like I said before, I didn't work very much. 33 hours. And that was, let me do a little quick math here. So 33 hours, that included everything. That included, going to that truck order not used, deadheading to get another load, waiting to get loaded. I got very lucky this week on these live loads and live unloads. I don't think any one of them took over 30 minutes. It was amazing. So, yeah, I didn't waste, there was hardly any wasted time here, which is good. It's not always like that when you're doing live loads. But those are the two numbers that I like, along with being home almost every day of the week. But here's another number that will make the super truckers angry. I only made $4,600, and the other number that I like to use now is how much did I make an hour, and it comes out to be about $140 an hour. Got one viewer that he says as long as he's in that truck, that's what he uses to figure his hourly. So when if he's away from home and he's in the sleeper bunk, he adds those hours in there too. I don't do that normally, because at the end of the day, I'll grab something to eat, I'll get back there in the bunk, and I turn on the TV, which is probably exactly what I was going to be doing if I came home anyway. So I don't add those sleeper bunk hours, but you can do it however you want it. I just add in all my own duty and drive time right here. $140 an hour. And I like that number. I like it a lot. So it comes out to be, again, you guys can check my numbers. I did this really quick. $2.78 a mile, which isn't too terrible considering that's all miles, deadhead, everything. Yeah, not each number individually, somebody would say, "Oh, that ain't great," but when you think about it, I had all of them together. I made $4,600 in 33 hours. I like it. It's exactly why I'm doing this. I got to see my family put up Christmas lights, cook, do all kinds of things at the house, go shopping. So here we go. This is the cut bait time right here. How efficient can you do it? So $4,600. And that's, I understand that's totally different for every person out there. So figure out your net, and don't forget things like, I didn't pay this much for fuel. I already had pretty much a full tank before I started this week, so I almost could have got away with just about a tank and a half of fuel. But let's just say $700 for fuel, $300 for insurance. And whatever you like to do, if you like to hold out for maintenance, if you like to hold out for taxes, and if you've got a truck payment, a trailer payment, whatever, load boards, incidentals, I just like to put $100. If you pay for your ELD, everything, your permits, your tags, all that can be taken out of here at some point, whatever you want to do. But so what is that? $1,100, $3,500. So one way to look at it is I made $3,500 net. So let's look at this a little bit closer. People do this part differently, and that's why I just normally avoid this and kind of gloss over it. But some people have two bank accounts, and their money is deposited in one, their business account, and what they do is they will transfer money to another business account for their maintenance and tags and taxes. This one, whatever's left, they transfer into their personal account in some form of paycheck. This right here is at the point where you figure out whatever formula you use to figure out how much you want to add to your maintenance and your taxes and stuff like that. Guys, I've had a couple of people out there that just argue over and over with me that I need to be holding out 27% for my taxes. That's craziness. There wouldn't be a business owner left in the world if they had to pay 27% if they had any deductions whatsoever. I won't go into specifics, but I've been doing this for a while, and I've never paid over 10%. Not even close some years. There have been a couple of years where I've had enough deductions that I'd paid zero in taxes. So holding out 27% is a great thing if you want to do that, because most of that money is still going to be left in that account at the end of the year when you do pay taxes, unless you just have a horrible accountant. But that's, I call this my net because for me, this goes into my bank account. I have one bank account. One bank account. And I pay myself into my personal account out of there. And then most of this is left in here. If I need maintenance, if I need oil change, whatever. At the end of the year, what I do is, and the reason I don't have two bank accounts is really unnecessary, because at the end, throughout the year and at the end of the year, I write down everything that I spend on maintenance or tires or anything. So I know exactly what came out of this account. I don't need to, go back into a second bank account and have this all separated. For some people, they like to have it that way. For me, it's a little overkill. So that's why I always say this is my net. It just, there's not a lot of maintenance that goes on. A very large maintenance, very large amount spent on maintenance. Struggling with how to say that on my truck. I do an oil change about every 10 or 12,000 miles, and then fix the little things that go wrong with it. But it makes no difference. All that money goes into that account. There's plenty in there to take care of anything that might go wrong with that truck. So super truckers, let me have it. Tell me what I did wrong. Maybe I spent too much time at home. I don't know. This is why I like to do this. And I talk to a lot of you guys. Some of you, you want my number to, kind of discuss something you're thinking about, trying to go into this direction. A lot of people are trying to do this, and I didn't mean to make it sound easy, because starting off, it's not easy. You got to earn that money first to be able to buy your truck, down payment for insurance, get your authority, and all that stuff. Once you get to that point, you have a little cash. The hardest part is just jumping out there and doing it. The thing I've said over and over is people will accept unhappiness over uncertainty, especially super truckers, especially the super truckers, because they're out there and they're driving 3,000 miles a week for somebody else, and they make a pretty good paycheck, and they have some health insurance, and anybody else who does it differently just doesn't know what they're doing. It's just you got to think out of the box a little bit. For me, it's all about the freedom, and like I've said several times before, if any of you guys, there are a lot of you that watch my channel that are already here, doing what you want to do, going home when you want to go home, and we've discussed it. The feeling is great, being able to just do what you want to do. Wake up in the morning and go fishing. Go to your daughter's play. Go, whatever you want to do, it's in your wheelhouse. You don't have to clear it by somebody else, or say, oh man, they're probably going to send me over here next week, or I've got to get in 3,000 miles this week. And I've talked to several of you guys that are already here, and it's a great feeling. I've talked to a bunch of you guys who are trying to get here. And like I've said before, if any advice, if you guys want to call me up, be happy to give you my number. I've done it quite often. And I really, I try not to give advice. I'm not a professional at this, but I try to just kind of base things off of, what I'm doing right now. And I've kind of, a couple of you guys were in the process of getting your own authority, and I've tried to help a couple of guys in some of these little details I've just forgotten. And I've actually, by talking to other people, learned a little bit along the way too. So, excuse me. Super truckers, sorry I was home so much, and I only brought home $3,500. I know that makes you mad. And I had one guy say, well, you can't get insurance for that much, it costs you $1,000 a month for insurance. Well, it might for some people, but I get mine through my wife's work, so that helps out a little bit. But anybody nowadays, if you're an individual, can get health care for fairly cheap. And if you think you're at a company that's giving you free benefits, you should think again, because that $2.78 a mile that I'm making, they're paying you 50 cents a mile. Think about it. So all you guys out there, have a good holidays. I should put in another video next week. I think I'll probably get back on the road Monday. I got to deliver this loadout trailer at least next week. So Merry Christmas to you guys throughout this. That's another thing I want to touch on. Have you guys noticed nobody's playing Christmas music? What's up with that? I love Christmas music. I love Christmas time. I turn on the radio and I hear nothing. But spread the Christmas cheer. Just get out there and have fun.